Budapest, Hungary. If the future of BMW's small cars is in doubt, the same cannot be said for Mercedes-Benz's foray into front-wheel drive-based compacts. Mercedes has long attempted a viable mainstream, intra-premium urban vehicle lineup capable of drawing in youthful consumers. That's why it once owned Chrysler. Now it's the GLA-Class, CLA-Class, and B250e in the US, plus the A-Class and CLA-Class shooting break elsewhere. Though they lack the substance and sumptuous luxury of traditional, rear-wheel drive-based Mercedes, they have a future tackling emissions regulations, urban driving restrictions and ride-sharing programs. The Mercedes-Benz GLA-Class leads the US lineup, starting with the $34,324 FWD GLA-250. It's a tall crossover utility vehicle with space for 4 and their luggage, and it's just $1,000 more expensive than the one-year sales wonder CLA-Class 4-door Sport Coupe. Move on up to the 375 horsepower turbo-4-powered Mercedes-AMG GLA-45 and the difference to its GLA-45 counterpart shrinks to just $610. It receives a facelift for the coming model year. The 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLA-Class gets cleaner-looking, redesigned front and rear bumpers, new 18 and 19-inch wheel designs, and LED headlamps replacing bisonance. There's also a rather tasty new Canyon beige paint color option. The facelifted interior includes a new instrument cluster, sail pattern replacing anthracite as the standard interior trim, Android Auto added to the smartphone integration package, black ash matte wood trim replacing burl walnut, and a new parking assist package with a surround view camera. An 8-inch high-resolution center dash display and a rear-view camera now are standard, and hands-free access is added to the premium package. The leather bits are decent, and the plastic parts, including some garish color detail options in the AMG model, are still not up to a Mercedes standard. In this size category, the new, highly refined Honda Civic looms large in the GLA-Class's rear-view mirrors. The $36,325 GLA-250 4MATIC becomes more of a bargain if you need the crossover for some light to moderate off-roading, or you face harsh winters. Along with the 4MATIC and the Mercedes-AMG GLA-45, the GLA-250 4MATIC now comes with an off-road drive program called Off-Road Drive Program, off-road display with a 360-degree and bird's-eye view cameras, and a nifty downhill speed regulation that lets you set the single-digit speed in 1 mph increments via the cruise control. The only tester offered a new .S.spec GLA-250 4MATIC trim was available for an off-road drive on a short course within the confines of the spectacular Hungaroring Formula 1 circuit. It acquitted itself nicely as an occasional off-roader, its 173.9-inch overall length navigating the tight tree-lined course where GLA-Class would simply have to plow its way over some timber. With a 100% front-wheel bias on dry pavement, the 4MATIC system lets the GLA slip also brief lie in sand or on other slippery surfaces for a few nanoseconds until the system finds the wheel or wheels with grip. Long suspension travel allows for descent articulation. The cruise control-controlled downhill speed regulation lets you descend foot-free without slowing down or picking up too much speed, and the surround camera lets you take a blind corner without risking paint on those newly redesigned bumpers. In this highly controlled milieu, at least, the GLA-250 4MATIC appears to have an edge over its soft-rod competitors. On the Budapest daily commute circuit, the deep-red GLA-45 was an entertaining tallish hot hatch, with a firm, yet not crashy ride over crusty lanes, and the ability to get around tight corners with minimal understeer and just a tad bit of yaw. It's important to note that the GLA is a true crossover because it's not so very tall, just 58 inches high for the AMG version, which is 2.3 inches taller than the low-slung Mercedes-AMG GLA-45 4MATIC. AMG doesn't need to mitigate a high center of gravity with rock-hard dampers and springs. AMG proudly notes that its handcrafted 2.0-liter turbo engine is the highest output production 4-cylinder on the market. This perhaps makes up for the fact that it's a bit peaky and feels unrefined for a Mercedes engine. This is not uncommon in the modern market, Where both Mercedes-AMG and all its competitors are in the early stages of refining their new age, small displacement, high-specific output turbo engines. The 4MATIC system, while distributing 100% of torque to the front wheels under normal acceleration, quickly distributes twist to the rear wheels when you give it the boot, thus avoiding torque waste here. Steering feedback is pretty good, and the strong, positive brakes are perhaps the most Mercedes-like feature of this model. Controlling the AMG SpeedShift 7-speed dual-clutch transmission is a disappointment. Well, perhaps not, considering the Mercedes-Benz GLA-250 first drive 2 years ago uncovered a transmission that won't remain in manual mode if you keep it in the same gear for something like 30 seconds. That was the standard Mercedes 7-speed DCT. The speedshift in the AMG GLA-45 4MATIC did the same when the Sport Dynamic mode was selected. Your humble servant tried Sport Plus on the road, and the transmission did, indeed, hold a gear, up to a point. Strangely, it downshifted aggressively in some turns when I wasn't slowing down much. Meanwhile, I could detect no difference in handling between the two modes. Heck, just leave it in Sport Plus and let the speedshift shift itself. That's what I did when Benz let us loose on the Hungaroring with a Mercedes-AMG A45 4MATIC. The speedshift made all the right upshifts and downshifts around each of the Hungaroring's 14 turns. While I'm no Lewis Hamilton, I can say the A45's handling is fabulous, near neutral and very predictable, and there's no reason to believe the heavier, slightly taller GLA-45 4MATIC would be much different here. The problem with the Mercedes-AMG GLA-45 4MATIC is that even the young, first-time luxury car buyer must ask himself whether this model is more worthy than, say, a nicely equipped Class 450 large. I'm not so sure, though Mercedes-Benz is confident in its compact car line's future, with plans to add 3 models to that 5-model global lineup. Mercedes plans to add an upright sedan, a better car than the CLA to compete with the Audi A3, in the US by 2019. The automaker will show a concept of a new compact at Auto Shanghai 2017 later this month, and it seems likely it will hint at the new sedan. If you're saving up for your first Mercedes, you'll be happy to know that unlike its number-one competitor, Benz is working to beef up its intra-premium models. 2018 Mercedes-Benz GLA-250 4MATIC specifications on sale. Summer price $36,325. Engine 2.0 liters 16-valve turbocharged i4, 208 horsepower at 5,500 revolutions per minute, 258 lb-ft at 1,2504, 000 revolutions per minute. Transmission 7-speed dual-clutch automatic layout 4-door, 5-passenger. AWD Sport Utility EPA mileage TBA LXWX H 173.9 by 79.6 by 60.0 in wheelbase 106.3 and weight 3,428 pounds. 060 miles per hour. Not top speed. Not 2018 Mercedes-AMG GLA-45 4MATIC specifications on sale. Summer price $51,525. Engine 2.0 liters 16-valve turbocharged i4, 375 horsepower at 6,000 revolutions per minute, 350 lb-ft at 2,2505, 000 revolutions per minute. Transmission 7-speed dual-clutch automatic layout 4-door, 5-passenger. AWD Sport Utility EPA mileage TBA LXWX H 175.4 by 79.6 by 58.0 in wheelbase 106.3 and weight TBA 060 miles per hour. Not top speed. Not show more.